Hello everybody, this is Courtney Henson. Today I will be discussing my findings for Project 1, the investment strategy project, where we were to take a financial strategy, analyze it, and present our findings and convince Dr. Cresson and our classmates as to why we should or should not use this strategy in our own portfolios going forward. So today, what I'm going to talk about as far as the investment strategy is kind of a commonly held strategy. As I kind of got into the project and did a little bit of research, what I found was a lot of financial experts look at the PE ratios of a stock and kind of use this number as a means to either buy the stock or sell the stock. What I found was if a ratio is in a certain range, they tend to either shy away from the stock or sell it, or if it's in another range, they tend to get really excited about it and want to buy it. What I found was if a PE ratio is basically lower than 10, they tend to say buy, the stock is a bargain. If the PE ratio is higher than 20, they tend to say sell the stock, this is it's too expensive, it's overvalued, sell it. So I got to wondering, do these PE ratios really drive the decision for us, and should we be considering that alone as a mechanism to buy or sell? So what I did was I decided to look at historical data from the Dow top 30 companies, except I kind of trimmed it down to the top 20, and I went from 1990 to 2000 as a range, and I pulled their historical stock returns from that time period as well as their historical PEs from that time period. And since I was comparing two sets of data, I used a regression formula. And as you can see here, this block of data here are the returns from 1990 to 2000 for these 20 companies. Some of the ones that made the list were 3M, Apple, AT&T, Caterpillar, Chevron, Cisco, Entergy, Exxon, Home Depot, IBM. So as you can see, it's a wide range of companies from a wide range of industries, which I thought was really good. It kind of gives us a little bit of assurance that, you know, regardless of the industry, the numbers are going to be right on. So I pulled the returns, and I also went on Bloomberg and pulled the historical PEs for these same companies, and for the past 10 years. And as you can see here, in order to run the regression, you have to take the set of data for the x-axis and put it in one column, and the set of data for the y-axis and put it in another column. I learned this the hard way as I tried to run the regression in a row, and that did not work. So we ran it in a column like so. And once you ran the regression, this is the data that I got. Now in class, Dr. Cresson told us to look at the p-value, which I have highlighted here. And he said, the less this number is, the more confident you are that these numbers are statistically significantly different. And this number, our p-value, was 0.00478 blah blah blah. So it's a very small number, and that basically just told me that the numbers that we were looking at, the correlation between the PE ratio and the return of that stock, are statistically significantly different. I kind of dug in a little bit more, and I decided to look here at the R-square value, and what I found for that was that the R-squared value basically tells us that the PE ratios only contribute or only account for, in this case, 3.8% of the stock's return. So whenever you're looking at a company, at a stock, you should keep in mind that just because the PE ratio is, you know, below 10 or above 20 does not mean that you should immediately make a decision one way or the other. What I found here was that number only accounts for 3.7% of a stock's performance. So basically what I've learned from this lesson and what I've learned from class is no one number can account for a company's financial anything. I mean, you have to look at the overall package. You have to look at what's driving the numbers, and you can't just make snap decisions based off of a range, a PE ratio being in a certain range. So that's my strategy. I hope you can remember it and follow it in the future whenever you're investing for your portfolio. Thank you.